Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the Gaia Daily for March 18th and 19th, 2020. How are you doing? We're cruising up on this spring equinox. The energy is off the charts. Collective energy just so intense, so confusing in this really strange time that we're in. Messages just coming in about holding space, being present for the unknown, but that this light is coming in and there's nothing that can stop it. And you're here to make space for that in your life right now, despite everything else that's going on out there. And it feels impossible sometimes, like this energy just encroaches in and it's like demanding that we feel a certain way. And yet this is our opportunity to first recognize that we have not had our spiritual autonomy. We have been going down a road that's very dangerous, humanity in general, giving our power away on all levels. And we're being shown this so clearly. So sometimes you have to have situations that can show you a bigger bloom of the truth in order to really exercise your will, your right for your life, your feelings, your emotions, your spiritual autonomy. And there has been a shadow war going on for thousands of years with these forces, and it's coming to a head. And so for these souls that follow this work, we are being shown that it's this Chiron square the nodes thing where we've got to, and all these planets in Capricorn, there's no way forward besides a radical change. And of course, we've got Uranus sextile the nodes, Chiron square the nodes. So it's all about what we need to do to move forward. And the south, that's the north node, south node, what's holding us back from the past. So what we need to move forward, Uranus sextile the north node, is feeling that we deserve our spiritual autonomy. This is our birthright by existing, to have our spiritual autonomy, to think and feel and be who we really are and exist on the earth. And yet most of these souls had very traumatic past life experiences where they were very clearly punished and told, no, you can't be who you are as a light worker. You can't be who you are as someone who wants to bring spiritual ascension. You can't be who you are as the healer that you are, and the whole reason why you went through so much to be here on the earth. But this Aries energy, this is the equinox tomorrow at night in the Western U.S., in the U.S. tomorrow night, late tomorrow night, the 20th, and the rest of the world. The sun moving into Aries amidst all of this intense astrology, Chiron exactly square the nodes, Black Moon Lilith not far behind or ahead, and the sun moving into Aries is saying, wait a minute. We're not buying it anymore. We're going to stand up and take back our power. And the thing is that we kind of get into this thing that, the collective consciousness is so powerful right now. And that's partly, our deal is like what we're moving into more and more, as we evolve spiritually, we're more and more aware of how other people feel. And we've got this Mercury in Pisces, back in Pisces now, moving forward. It's now at 1 degree. So it's moving along here. But it's like just this big emotional energy and feeling so much of the collective and feeling what is going on. But these souls are getting such a huge opportunity. You guys are getting such a huge opportunity to recognize how you've allowed yourself to get mired into the energies of the collective consciousness. It's got to be big to show you. And yet all this in Capricorn, the South Node in Capricorn and Chiron in Aries, fighting for the right of the true self to be who they really are and break the chains of the authorities. And we're being shown those contracts where it's like, well, I don't know, I kind of feel targeted and messed with, and I don't really know what's going on. It's like, yeah, no, now you know. Now you can see the bigger agendas of what's been trying to happen. And we're being asked, so going back to the collective energy, it feels like, well, this is just, you got to go along with a collective wave of panic and fear, right? And yet for these souls, it's showing us, oh, no, that's not why we're here. But maybe we've been doing that for a long time. Maybe we've been feeling the collective pain and allowing our vibration to go into lower, being held down in lower places, that cork pushed under the water. And yet we know we're here and we're living a vibrational universe. Everything is vibration. And what we want to create comes through vibration. We're not here to be in those lower vibrations. In fact, it's going to make you sick if you stay there anymore. So this is actually a beautiful opportunity for these souls to recognize their power and recognize that they have been allowing themselves to go into these lower vibrations and to claim back their right for their spiritual autonomy and say no more. That's part of the power of this astrology that's happening right now that we're just getting into. Mars today is at 21 degrees. Jupiter's at 22. So they're in conjunction. This is starting. It's happening. And tomorrow, the sun moving into Aries. And it's like, get up, stand up. And claim back your power as a sovereign, conscious being here on Earth. And yet that collective energy is so strong. But like I said, it's got to show us how we've been swept up away in it. And it's showing us our power to say, no, I'm not going to play anymore. Lifetime after lifetime, we've given our power away to these control energies that are lower dimensional from where we came from originally. And why would we ever want to do that? Doesn't make any sense. Of course, we've all done it. We've all bought into it. And it's like the whole agenda is to keep us from knowing that we have this power in our consciousness. But getting back to the collective energy, what I was trying to say is that we feel like everybody has to come along with us. And that's not true. This is the really important quintessential message for today. It only takes a small percentage of us to hold space for the light. And to know we don't get to know exactly, but we know that this is spiritual awakening. And we know that there needs to be a healing crisis. And we know that the shit has to get worse before it can get better. And here we are in the storm. But like there's the thing that's holding up the process for a lot of these souls is feeling, of course, loyalty contracts to humanity, groups, your ancestry, lineages, your family, and of course you can't stay there anymore. You cannot stay in these vibrations. It's like it's hurting you. You've got to let yourself go to joy. Allow this crown chakra activation to happen. Pay attention to the light that's trying to come in and be there and let that be your vibration. And so the thing that's holding us up is like, well, we're waiting for everybody to come, right? And the message that's coming through is like, no, you don't need to. It just takes a small amount of us to be present into this truth of what's really going on. And we don't know what's really going on, but we know something's going on that's breaking down the old so the bigger and the better can come in, right? And so we've got to allow ourselves and connect in with the other souls that are holding space for the light, allowing the crown chakra activation, to allowing these spiritual ascension energies to come in. And part of the problem is that we've been programmed in past lives to think that this spiritual energy coming in, spiritual ascension, is dangerous for ourselves, our body, to the people around us, to the earth, destructive. And that's a total and complete lie. I've been shown again and again in past life pictures. It's a good thing. It is dangerous to the control energies, right? It's dangerous to the lower matrix. But for us and for the world, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it's why we're here. And we're actually being shown this. It's the lower matrix control energies that are creating the destruction and the drama and the trauma. we have been blaming ourselves for this. And what we're here to do is bring, these souls back into the light. And yet we're stuck because we can't bring them back into the light until we ourselves go. So incredibly potent and powerful times, and let's just stay close in touch. I hope you consider joining the Equinox Soul Group session. That is tomorrow, the 19th at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and in the U.S. And so that's $20, and it is a group intuitive session where we're looking at shared past life pictures, energies. We'll definitely be, I think, looking at some authority contracts and using our collective consciousness to shift into these new energies and give ourselves permission, clearings, healings, activation, connection with your soul group. So I hope you'll consider joining for that. And if you can't make the live, just know that that energy is encoded and you're still a part of the experience, and you can catch the replay. And if you can't make it at all, still you can be a part of the energy just by your intention to receive. And this is the actual soul group session happens a couple hours before the actual equinox. And so at that time of the exact equinox would be a really great time to bring our collective consciousness together, and remembering the 3 minutes at high noon in your time zone of this attention on what the new world we're creating. Continuing with that prayer wave, there's also a 6 p.m. prayer wave that people have been doing for a long time. And it's time for us to just be present with our power and our collective consciousness and take back our reality. And this is actually all of this is about the dismantling of the old, and us claiming and knowing that a small amount of us holding that higher vibration and allowing the spiritual ascension energies to come in, allowing that crown chakra to open and release all of these stories. It's like finally we're being shown. We took the blame for the trauma and the catastrophes. And it was like, oh, you misused your power, and it wasn't. Look at the misuse of power that's happening right now. The fear and the panic and the trying to push us into losing all of our freedoms, and just it's like we've got to be shown how bad it could get, and so we can stand up for our rights, and our rights as sovereign, I am conscious beings, and claim back that sovereignty, that control over our own energy, our own life, our own vibration. It's like, no, we're not going into the matrix grid. We get to be. And I've been shown again and again that the power of our consciousness can overcome all of the technological control and all of it, and just stay present with this energy that we're being shown, the lies we bought into, that we thought we were causing the trauma. And so we're all in low self-worth, and is it okay? And I don't know if it's safe. And I don't even know I have this power because I'm so programmed with fear to think that it's destructive. And now we're being shown, oh, it's those forces that were part of the destruction. And we just took the blame because we were naive on some level. As pure souls coming into this earth evolution, we are naive to the level of evil and distortion and duality. And we took the blame. And that's why we've been holding this heavy collective energy for so long, and it's time to give it back right now. And give yourself permission, and your individual self, connecting with the collective consciousness of the souls that are ready to bring this light in to their crown, and know that it only takes a small amount of us to shift. And so stop pulling along everybody else in your life that wants to be in those other vibrations. Just stop. Go there. Maybe this is part of the beauty of the isolation right now, and the social distance is like, yeah, go have your panic and fear mongering, because it's like that's deep suppressed energy over many generations of trauma and catastrophe on the earth that is like we've been trying to process like garbage collectors and recyclers, and bringing our vibration down and making ourselves sick because we're so sensitive, and it's like, go ahead and have that. I'm going to be here with the truth of the light that's coming in and the truth of this spiritual thing we're doing here. Way more true than all this stuff that's falling apart right now. And giving yourself permission, connecting with the other souls that are doing that, allowing your vibration to rise. And it's like there's really awesome energies if we can open up to it, like excitement and joy and that childlike experience of life, of being held. We're here to play and co-create, and that's this Aries energy, and it's coming in. Because we've got this sun moving into Aries and then that new moon in Aries on Tuesday. And that's going to be very close to Chiron and Black Moon Lilith. I think the new moon happens kind of in between the two. And so that is just like, and Aries is like ready, Mars is a ruler. And Mars and Jupiter, this is about power. This is about male power, about the divine masculine activation, about divine timeline activation, divine timelines landing home. And we really need this divine masculine energy because that's what allows us to stand up for ourselves, protect ourselves, to act out of our will instead of what's been fed to us, And again, that's the message of like, this has to be shown to us really, really clearly in a big, big way. So we say no. Individually, I'm not going along with the plan anymore. I'm going to go along with my plan, which is in alignment with my highest self, in alignment with source, in alignment with all of the beneficial, positive, powerful energies that are supporting this spiritual evolution. It's time to get out of the dark ages. And so let's dream a new dream and stay real present with this energy. And hopefully you've been able to catch the 21 days of presence using that energy to support you in finding peace and presence in the chaos. And but this is your work and you can do it. And you've worked for many lifetimes to be able to do this. And there's probably voices inside of you that are saying, no, I can't do that. It's so much easier just to be in the fear and panic with everybody else. And, how can I leave them behind? And, it's like we are being asked to fight right now and be warriors for our own vibration and cleanse and heal and purify on all levels. And cleansing the body is really helpful. It's kind of an interesting energy because it's like, the sickness and the contagion and all that. But, all sickness and contagion and all the technological stuff they're trying to do to us too, like what's in the chemtrails and the 5G, all of that only can work when we have, it all feeds on sugars. So it's just kind of an interesting energy. And I've seen people, it's like as if you cleanse and get off of all like grains and sugars, that's the food for these microorganisms that allow the disease, and the distortion, even the technological control disease. And I'll be talking more about that on my other channel really soon, and I'll let you know about that. So thanks so much for being present and being in the light, and just allow this for yourself. This is your birthright. This is why you're here. This is your spiritual purpose. And it's time to break free out of quarantine and just like have this huge blooming of these energies to see really clearly all the lies we've bought into. And it was never your fault. And it's time to come back into your power and of your consciousness and us together. Whew, so powerful, so beautiful. Crown chakra of the earth, landing home. So thanks so much for being here and being present and being you and living and breathing and making it through all you've made it through. We are in the last throes of the battle and we're winning. So I look forward to seeing you soon, hopefully at that Equinox Soul Group session or tomorrow on the next update. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.